All right, so red-green monsters, or Gruul mid-range, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, we've got Llanowar Elves. We kind of go up the curve here into reasonable monsters. Worth noting, the main deck of this deck doesn't have any Carnage Tyrant. We're trying out some Ravager Wurm, which is better and worse in different spots. We're trying 4 Skarrgan Hellkite in this build of today. This is the initial list someone submitted. And I kind of like the fact that this list can take to the air. We have Rekindling Phoenix and Hellkite as evasive flying threats, so I'm interested to see how that goes. Domri's a card that I've been a little bit medium on, especially in the main deck. We ended up playing Vivien last time, but I'm interested to give him another try for sure. So let's dive into some games. The various Gruul monster-style decks that we played yesterday felt like it was one of the more powerful archetypes that we tried out yesterday, so I'm interested to see some other iterations of it, see how they go. Yeah, what's going on, Fatal Roundhouse? Yeah, the numbers have been absurd yesterday and today. Tons of people hungry for a new standard, which is sweet. So I'm including Wilderness Reclamation in this deck. Stop it. I feel, did someone talk about this card having to be absurd and everybody just followed? I don't understand what the hype is about Wilderness Reclamation. Maybe there's some busted combo deck that somebody knows about that I don't, but the card does not seem that great. This hand doesn't have any gas in it, but it's got plenty of mana and can cast most of our spells. Oh, you know what? I should probably keep that mountain because it's our second red source. This deck has Phoenixes and Dragons that both need double red. Although turn 2 Rhythm of the Wild is pretty good. How long is the stream today? I'm planning to go longer than my normal 8 hours, but I think I'm going to stop at 10. Once I hit the 10-hour mark, my energy tends to drop. The stream title's updated. It doesn't always update for you on your end without refreshing your browser page. Alright, let's get angry here, shall we? Maybe we're about to learn my Wilderness Reclamation is good. Could be something our opponent's doing. Not quite sure yet. Yeah, Riot stacks. It's real good. Well, I don't know what they're doing yet, but thankfully the Gruul don't care what they're doing. They cast some spells and then they died. Seems fine, clicks a bit. Look at that, board in the Cindervines already. Well, both teams tried their hardest, yep. This archetype and green-black midrange are probably going to be the litmus test of this format. Just like you have to ask yourself, can you keep up with Gruul, and can you go toe-to-toe with Black-Green Rock's grind power to, be competitive? Could be Thousand Year Storm, which in which case Cindervines is absurd. Now, this is a curve. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it. We've not played an Arcanist deck again yet this season. There is one in the deck queue that we'll get to at some point, but it's got to wait to get to the top, just like everything else. Tons of sweet decks to play in the standard format. Can only play one at a time, unfortunately. For my regulars, I am going to be streaming again tomorrow. Normally, I don't stream during the day on the weekend, but there's no major events on pre-release weekend, so I'll be doing my normal, like, 8 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. shift.
Be careful.
And this is why I'm a little bit medium on Domri. Like, he did only cost 4 mana, I guess, but, like, his down tick is, like, very similar to Vivien's uptick.
Next, it's gonna hurt ya.
Dunk.
Quit before you get your teeth kicked in.
That animation was awesome. Dunk, dunk. That was that one. You know, nice. That's a sweet Temur deck. Yeah. This be a darn shame if something were to happen to all your stuff, huh? Oh no, not Gates Ablaze. Please, no, mercy. Mercy. Whoop.
My muscles may be small, but watch out when I flex.
Charge! I don't know what the optimal combination of Gruul cards is, chat, but somewhere out there is an optimal combination of Gruul cards, and it's gonna win a lot of matches of Magic. Dale the Whale, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the tier 2 at that. Little Stabby, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for shipping your Basil Bucks this way this month. I appreciate it. So someone in chat just said they think RDW will be better than Gruul because it's much faster. So, I'd like to talk about an important distinction between differentiations in Magic archetypes. So, this deck isn't an all-in aggro deck. This deck is a mid-range, what I would classify as a monsters deck. This is a deck that's looking to get to turn. This deck isn't looking to end the game on turn 4 or 5. This deck is often looking to end the game on turn, say, I don't know, 5 at the earliest, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, generally 6, 7. Whereas something like Mono Red is generally trying to end the game by turn 4. Which I think is a very important distinction to make. I'm not playing Phoenix into a counterspell here. Phoenix is one of our more resilient threats, and they're obviously representing a counterspell. And like, with Domri sitting here ticking up and generating card advantage, there's no reason for me to rush into jamming Phoenix. Right? And the crab guy is really good. Yeah, so like, they need to counter that crab, because that crab's gonna go fetch another crab. And like, if they go land Ritual of Soot here, it's like, great, you killed my elves, plus Domri, Rekindling Phoenix, smack you with the Hasted Phoenix. We've not played any black-white list yet. However, there is a black-white Angels deck in the queue that looks really promising. Seraph of Scales has been particularly impressive.
A little pick-me-up before the real fun begins.
All right, let's go. Nice magic card.
Little power can go a long way. Things are about to get real rowdy.
Alright, so Lava Coil's an easy cut, because they're a control deck without a lot of threats. Thrash threat's kind of mediocre. Carnage Tyrant's very good here. Vivien's fine for generating card advantage. It says 65 cards. And here's the problem that, like, do I not bring in Cindervines here? Because, like, if I cut a bunch of creatures, Domri gets much, much worse. Like, has a hard time hitting 2 things. And, like, Domri's awkward with these Find Finalities in the sideboard. Need one more card. And maybe it's just Harpooner. Harpooner kills Nickel Bolas if they have it, but I guess we saw Detection Tower and we didn't see red mana, so there's a chance they're not playing Nick. Harpooner does kill the demon though if they're playing that. Yeah, seems very reasonable, right? So, I like that the Worm is a removal spell in the event that they have a creature. And it's like a removal spell that has a body. Also, the Worm killing their Detection Tower makes your Carnage Tyrants a lot better. Yeah, Pipe Drive is literally at the top of every deck list. A friend of mine told me you just rioted 4 times and I missed it. You did miss it. We did have the quad riots going on. We're making some noise. When you see the Bant Flash deck list, you can type ! decks in chat to get a link to my Stream Decker page with that and other information on it. My hand is pretty good. Pretty okay. So I assume Domri is going away. And then we'll play Zoidberg into Zoidberg next turn. And I don't know what it is about Magic players that really makes them hate losing to control. Whenever I play a deck like this, people are like, oh man, how do we jam infinite ways for this deck to beat control into it? It's just like, well, I don't actually think this deck needs... a way to beat control. Like the deck already seems like it has a pretty good control matchup between Rhythm and the Planeswalkers and all this other stuff. This is 8, this is 5. Yeah, don't worry. This deck, we've only been playing this deck for like 20 minutes. We're gonna get to that tasty Hellkite animation, I promise. I think it's right to just hit them with both of these though, right? It's actually lethal. Boop, boop. Seatbelts, everyone. Driving in my car, beep beep. Don't mind me. This is the first time we've gotten to haste the Kraul Harpooner. The old hate you from an empty board. God bless. Merc with the brand new Prime support. Thank you very much. Welcome. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me in play here. You said these colors. When did I say these colors have issues drawing cards? Our colors really don't have issues drawing cards. Alright, what are we... Am I still happy with what we have? I think I might still be happy with what we have. I think these Thrash threats seem pretty mediocre. I haven't been happy with this card. The Lava Coils have also been awkward. Like, having this card in our main deck feels bad. Just like it keeps being a dead draw. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the Colossal Collisions in here. I'm going to go ahead and put Lava Coils on the board. Seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I don't want to cut the Lava Coils from the 75, but like having dead cards in your main deck feels bad. Like these cards at least are live everywhere because they're flexible modal cards. So I haven't actually changed the deck list. I've just swapped something between the main and the sideboard. So it's still the same 75. So update the stream decker here. I would love to play first. Easy mulligan. Mediocre keep. Mediocre keep. Nah, I think Regisaur is pretty good. Having two bodies is pretty important. How's Rhythm performed in the non-control matchups? It's pretty good in the mid-range matchups. You poured it out against aggro. And it's even not terrible against aggro game 1, because, like, making your creatures bigger is, like, reasonable. Collision Colossus seems like a worse version of Thrash Threat. Stop it. Let's look at these cards that are fundamentally different and say one has to be a worse version of those. It's okay. Not everything is a strictly worse version of something else. In fact, in most situations, there's corner cases where some things are much better and some things are much worse. And in a lot of instances, things are just completely different, like in the case of Collision Colossus. Tecatli does not stop Riot. That being said, against green-white stuff, I think I'm boarding in Lava Coils and cutting this. Rhythm of the Wild explicitly does not impact token creatures. I can't cast the Finality half of this. Looks like they're playing like green-white mid-range. They probably have Angels in their deck, right? That's true, yeah. I was just thinking, like, what we saw. They're probably an Angels deck. Like, this card requiring you to have a big creature in play to be removal is, like, kind of mediocre. Nice, Mr. Metronome. Yeah, the flash decks tend to be good against control. Yeah, let's just cut all the rhythms, I think. I think it's right to keep one-landers on 6 most of the time, so... it isn't an easy... The thing you need to assess when you're trying to keep a speculative one-land hand that needs to get there is you need to ask yourself the question, how good is the hand that you're keeping in the event that you get there? So, like, if your hand is very good and you draw lands, like, if all your spells are good and you draw lands and you're likely to win the game, then I think it's right to keep most of the time. But if your spells are bad, like, if you need to draw lands and more spells, then it's a really bad keep. So, ask yourself the question, does this hand need just one thing? And if so, keep scry and hope to get that thing. But if your hand needs to draw multiple different tools, it's probably not worth keeping. I got Rhythm. I don't know what that song is. Domri, looking aggressively mediocre here.
I look forward to seeing you running away out to the pool.
You're gonna be the one who's running away, Domri. We have nothing. Good try though. Yep.
Our kinship ensures that I will lend you my strength.
Lend you my strength.
You hit like a child.
We're super dead, right? Yeah. Yep. Couple of mulligans, couple of dead. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna play one more match with the Domri, but I think I'm gonna cut him. The build we ended up playing yesterday, I ended up playing a couple Domris on the board because he is reasonable against control. But I played Vivien in the main in that slot. I'm not going to end up looking at a YouTube link right now, but you can feel free to post it in the subs Discord and tag me there, and I'll take a peek later. One of the things that's important to remember too, like when people are evaluating Planeswalkers, like people are talking about like Domri's not very good or the new Dovin band's not very good. The important thing that you need to take with a grain of salt is that like these cards are 3 and 4 mana Planeswalkers. They're not. I think I want to make this bigger against another Stomping Ground deck. They're not Teferi, they're not Vivien. Like these are Planeswalkers that come down before those cards happen. So like obviously they're going to be weaker. They cost a full mana less. Yeah, I just had somebody submit Allie's Gates Lich's Mastery deck. We'll see if it feels any less clunky than the old build. Harpooner last turn to take their mana creature. Harpooner only fights flying creatures. This card would be busted in half if it could fight anything. Like, really, really good. Yeah, Rabid. People are for whatever reason that I will never understand, Magic players seem to be incapable of realizing that the power level of cards is contextual to the format they're being played in. This might be an aggressive attack on my part. I don't know. I want to do this now while they're mostly tapped out, because otherwise they can respond to my adapt trigger and kill my thing, and then I won't be able to get another guy. Come on. Want my Zoidbergs to keep Zoidbergen. Wizards, please give Greed Doom played with upside, right? Main deck Duress. Where did control hurt you, opponent? We are playing best of 3. The Duresses can stay in your sideboard. Less clunky is not what I look for in LE decks. Fair. Yeah, I think, so far I've been unimpressed, Gorks. I was unimpressed yesterday, and I haven't been very impressed today. I really feel like if Domri's gonna have a home in these decks, it's probably in the sideboard. They weren't white weenie, they were a white mid-range deck, and we mulliganed and stumbled, just didn't play Magic.
No hands.
Hey, Johnny Stephanie, thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, so let's fight their bird, and then we'll Colossus over some blocks and kill them. What does Harpooner with haste do? Like, what does that actually accomplish? Why is it a play worth making? We haven't really gotten to see the dragon yet in action. We actually haven't cast it, so it's a card I'm interested in seeing for sure. How does it force them to block with the token? They were at 10, I'd only be attacking for 8. Alright, so you're dead. Really love Colossus Collision. Sarkhan's Unsealing, useful sideboard card to break the mirror. I think Galta is probably the card you want to break the mirror. That card's really big and really doesn't die. What are they doing? They're also playing green-red stuff. They have Phoenixes of their own, so Lava Coil sounds really good. This is probably not great. Killing Phoenix is okay. Blowing people out in combat is fine, but leaves a bit to be desired. Galta with Rhythm is very good. Watch a few games with 3 Domrays. Vivien of the Reid enchantment. Changes feel great. Yeah, I think the dragon's probably pretty good. We just haven't had a chance to put it into play yet. Have you tested Galta in the sideboard for the green-red mirrors? It's also probably fine against mono-red. Hand's pretty good. So this expansion just released yesterday. So there haven't been any tournaments. There have just been what you see people streaming is what people have been playing. So we don't know for certain what is a competitive deck list in this format. That seems like a weird card to play while you're getting beat to death. A good solid curve here, though. Just turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right on up the curve. Sure. Well, we're not attacking, right? Well, they just have their own sort of modern and standard queues. When standard rotates in the fall in October, there's going to be a new format introduced to Magic. Deal 2 damage, divided you choose between any 2 targets. He's dead, Jim. So, have you heard about my worm? So my worm is going to get haste, and then it's going to fight this, and then I'm going to attack for 11. And animation is so great. Just gobble, gobble. Smork, 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 smork. Smork, 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 smork. Do, 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 do. Yeah, the worm's been good. I was weary about worm versus what's the word I'm searching for? Worm as opposed to Carnage Tyrant, but the worm's been pretty flexible. I think it's like it'll be tier 2. I don't know. I think if there's gonna be a new tier 1 deck in this format, I think it's probably Gruul. We'll see. See how things shake out. Still super early. Usually we don't know until like the first Pro Tour how things are gonna really look. So They said they went extra rhythm and 2 Viviens in the main. Doesn't seem unreasonable. If you like Thrash Threat, I don't know. I guess it was okay there. I like Colossus Collision. That's been fine. Gruul refers to the red-green color combination. I kind of want more Phoenixes in my life. Having a bunch of flyers is good. That's true. Sorry, Mythic Championship. Until the first Mythic Championship. Getting used to our rebrandings, okay? The only ads I have control over are the ads in the corner of your screen down there and somewhat on the Tempo Storm scroller. I want another Wurm in my deck. I kind of just want another Wurm. This card's been sweet. Just like having just this touch of removal. I guess that's a lot of top end though. I already have 8, 10. I guess one more is fine. The Bant Flash deck's a good time. I think 24 lands is fine. I've got 4 Llanowar Elves. How many pro points have I accumulated over the years? I think I have 3. I top 16 to Grand Prix one time. When I played Magic competitively, I wasn't playing on Wizard Circuit. I was playing on the SCG Tour. Because their events were generally closer to me and they paid out better. Rhythm of the Wild is great. Card's very powerful. About Domri to help ramp. That's true. I guess Domri does help you make mana. Maybe we played the 2-drop Accelerate yesterday, and it was pretty reasonable, so I wouldn't hate playing some of that. Am I playing any SCG events this year? None for certain. Some are a maybe. I might play in the week 1 standard open is in Indianapolis, which is relatively close to me next weekend. So if I can find cards for a deck that I like and the weather's good, I'm probably gonna go. Do you think I'll play in competitive arena tournaments? Yeah, if they're convenient. If arena qualified you for the PT, would you go? Yeah, I guess. Then I'd have to stream limited though. Because I'd have to practice drafting on stream. That sounds terrible. Mono blue. Okay. We have Cindervines as well. Why are we doing all this work to find out what the best Greenwood Monsters deck is? Aren't you friends with CVM? He probably already broke it. One Squidward, please. Not Squidward, whatever we're calling him. I forget. The hidden text on Cindervines, yep. It has a lot of text going on, to be fair. Yeah, having a couple copies of Teferi seems very reasonable. Zoidberg! I need more Zoidberg! Squadron Crab! Squadron Crabs deploy! Squadron Crabs deploy! Well, because he's a crab, he's not a squid. Claudrin Crab. I beat a counter with this, right? Your stream has the spark of joy. What's going on, Aaron the Freak? Thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Driving in my car. Beep, beep. Oh, you've activated my trap card. You've activated my trap card. I love Constructed playable combat tricks, chat. They are totes my favorite. Love me some constructed playable combat tricks. Just How does your face feel? Does your face feel good? Thanks, Tim. Hope you have a good one. Thinking of buying 100 packs or maybe just 50 and then doing sealed with the rest? What do you think's best to buy? To make a tier set? I mean, it depends. If you like limited, play limited. If you don't like limited, just buy packs and play constructed. You have a wizard counterspell here. Should we try Squadron Crab and Elf Ball? Yeah, definitely. There's an Elf deck list in the queue. It's definitely going to include this card. Growth Chamber's really good. I think I'm okay trading this. It's an Elf Crab, duh. How many packs did you buy at the start of each set release at Arena? Well, this set I bought 250. Well, I only bought 200 because I had gold for 50. I just buy until I don't have cards that I need. This is my job. I just need all the cards, so I just like keep buying stuff till I have all the cards. This card's pretty bad, right? Mr. Mushi, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna trim a couple of each of these. These cards don't seem super impactful. Lava Coil's good. Rekindling Phoenix is excellent in this matchup. The fact that it's a flying blocker that can continuously block over and over and over again is very good. Yeah, I get to write off all the money that I spend on Arena. Yeah, when you have a full set of common and uncommons, every booster pack you open gives you 1% vault progress, which is fine. Rhythm of the Wild makes your stuff uncounterable, which is why I kept 3 of these. I mean, so for people that don't understand taxes, which is fair, if there's anything AOC's marginal tax rates have taught us, it's that many Americans don't understand taxes. Getting to write something off on your taxes as an independent contractor does not mean the government's paying for it. It just means you're paying slightly less taxes, ever so slightly. In STG events regularly and made enough that I'm going to have to deal with taxes on it. What all can you claim? All your expenses. You can claim all of your expenses up until a loss, basically. It's very similar to poker. I am not a tax lawyer. You can consult with the professional if you are unsure. Digital online taxes are super easy though. You just like put in, they ask you what numbers are on your forms, you fill in the numbers from your forms to the computer. And then you total all your stuff. I would be very surprised if a Gates Matters deck has enough good payoffs to be worth, Alright, well, our opponent's about to learn how Adapt works. Really looking forward to a ladder so we can, like, not have things like this happen. Hopefully, maybe. Best of 3 ladder chat coming end of January. Super excited. Taxes are the greatest form of thievery. Shut up. Get out of here. Taxes are theft. Why are there potholes in my road? I need to get to a hospital. Educate my children for free. Yeah, taxes are theft. You're right. You get nothing out of that. That's gotta be, it must be painful going through life being so incredibly stupid. Taxes are theft. No, they pay for services that you use basically every day. But Jeff, this guy on the publicly subsidized subway told us tax is theft, right? I don't even really feel the need to soapbox. It's just... people. People always want something for nothing and they want to do less for more. They want to get more for doing less. It's just like human nature, right? Which set would you buy 100 packs of first if you didn't have a constructed deck? I would look at Guilds of Rav and Allegiance and figure out which of those two sets had more cards for the deck that I wanted to build, and then I would open 100 packs from that set. Alright, so they're dead on board because this card is trash against Phoenix. You have a choice. Move to a country where they don't collect taxes. Nobody makes you live in the United States. Google libertarian, please hit, yep. Which countries don't collect taxes? The ones you don't want, probably don't want to live in. I don't know what the opponent's doing. They're playing mono black cards. I'm gonna click submit. I'm gonna click submit. Run for whenever anybody jokes that I should run for office, like the Republicans tried to make a smear video for AOC of her dancing in a college video. Could you imagine how many different smear videos people would make over all the stuff I've said on stream over the years if I ever tried to run for office? All right, now that the new set's been live for 24 hours, what's the best standard deck? Thanks for the 12 months, Zach. Welcome back. It would be, I can't even fathom what they would come up with. It was funny, my post yesterday about a YouTube comment about talking about like giving compassion and caring about other people and stuff like that. Somebody responded to that tweet with a link to the time that I got a game loss for having marked sleeves in a top 8 when the head judge messed that up. Just like the things that people try to twist into things that they think are meaningful that are actually like perfectly fine or like were mistakes. It's just like crazy. Talkie Box Man says things you don't like. Don't vote Talkie Box Man. Vote generic politician. God bless. Proven cheater Jeff Hoagland owned by arguments and logic. Oh god, this card, that is definitely how that works. That is pretty good. Grainy footage of Jeff in his owl costume at a Magic tournament. Oh. Thanks for upgrading my bird. Look at our. They're just like sitting here shooting the nonsense. Got all of our scary creatures here. Charge! I censored myself. I did almost say a bad word. Driving in my car, beep beep. Hope no one wrecks into me. Kraul Harpooner is just like out prowling to wreck into people. Could you imagine what they would do with the picture of you offering candy to someone while dressed in a hat? Right? That's the real good one. Do your sponsors require you to keep your streams as safe for work? What does SFK mean? The goal of not swearing while I stream, the sponsors don't care. The sponsors know who I am and they support me. The reason why I try not to swear while I stream is because I know a lot of people are in similar places to where I am in my life, who watch my content, safe for kids. And people who are my age have kids but play a lot of Magic or are interested in playing a lot of Magic, and like they can't watch my content around their kids if I'm swearing all the time, right? So like by not swearing, my content gets more views because people can watch more of it while their kids are around. I got told this 2 months in a row is the longest commitment I've made since the person outside of my wife and I became an adult. PL, thanks for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome back. As if you're old. I am 28 now. Thank you very much. I'm a January child. Terramander, all right. Why do you ever need to swear? Because I grew up in a culture where we sweared casually all the time. It's just what we did. Just how we talked. Cario, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I like worked a bunch of jobs outside of schools where like all of my non-school jobs, we just swore casually all the time. Just what we did. I personally don't have a problem with profanity. I could care less, but I know as this is my job, more people can watch and then maybe end up giving me money because they watch more if I'm not swearing. It's EJ. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch, and I appreciate that support. You think Terramander could be good in the Drake section? I think so. I think this might be the upgrade Drake gets from. Can care less. But Jeff, language police. I think I just want to hit the Zoidberg here while they can't kill it. Hitting the adapt on this while they're tapped out is really important because again, if they have like a shock, they can shock this in response to you activating the adapt, and then it technically never adapts and you don't get your thing. Enigma Drake for Terramander. Maybe. I think there's probably also a build that like plays 4 Terramander and then 8 Drakes. Keep up with the good work. Loving rhythm in Gruul. Yeah, I think like people are asking me like everybody wants to know like what the deal is with the new stuff, right? And while I don't think any of the decks from the previous season are going to suddenly become bad, I think if there's a chance for a breakout deck in one of these new guilds, I think it's definitely Gruul that's going to likely break out. I look older. I've been a bitter 40-year-old for the better part of the last 10 years. Me too, Zach. I think black-white mid-range is probably going to be really good. I think Black-White Angels is probably a great deck to be playing. Like, the Angel mid-range decks have always been very reasonable against aggro, but having access to Duress could help shore up your control matchup. And like green white angels and green or white red angels just didn't have a good anti-control card basically. Maybe Mardu could be okay. Could we have a stream segment where Christy guesses the creature types of every Simic card? That would probably be a funny segment. If $25 for you to make Mardu Angels, call. In. That's a lot of blockers. Do they have a Spell Pierce? I guess I just do this, right? Just haste again. Just like 3 lethal attackers. Mono amazing animations? Probably. Jeff, sadly have not been subbed the entire time I watched you. Had I known about Prime sooner, it could have been a year. Though, thank you for checking it out, Frozen Kraken. I appreciate the 2 months, and welcome back. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Dragons are very sweet, yeah. I don't know how to evaluate this build, really, compared to the one we played yesterday, but having these 8 flying threats feels like really good. What were we playing yesterday? We were playing a bunch of dinos yesterday. The worm's been good too, just like fighting stuff. I'm not gonna board in Deathgorge Scavenger because they probably aren't done on Phoenix. A dragon needs a nose job, probably. Here's to put a deck of your choice in the queue. Also, can I request you sing a Rise Against song? I actually don't. What's I need like a couple opening lyrics. I don't like, I can't like start songs. I just kind of like lean into them. I think I'm bottoming that, looking for a bomb or a second red source here. Which decks have I been impressed by the most so far? Bant Flash, Gruul Rhythm, and Mono Red Meme Kid. He said, son, have you seen the world? What would I say if I said that? That's such a sad song. What would you say if I said that you could carry this gun? You'll even get paid. It's such a sad song. I'm not singing Rise Again. Stop it. Stop it. We're good. Kills me not to know this, but I've all but just forgotten. I'm not really in it. I'm not really in it. I need to. Oh, jeez. This card's real good against Terramander. This card's really good against Terramander. Yeah, I added a third worm. How close are we to playing Sultai Pod? Half hour? Half hour. Kill that one. I don't have a change log for you, so if you want to know what we cut to get from where we started to here, I'd ask that you compare the deck list. So Mono Red 10 games in a row and the Nut Draw 10 games in a row. Who else is looking forward to Best of 3 ranked? I'm super excited. When Best of 3 ranked dropped, if you hate playing against mono aggro, Best of 3 is much better. It's much easier to stuff aggro decks in a tiny box and throw them away. Who's looking for a collision, chat? Collision course here. Do you have a dive down? Do you have a dive down? Do you have the time? to dive down this drake. It is just a spell pierce. I changed my mind. Can I change the song to Riot by Paramore to be more on flavor with the deck? Crush, crush, crush. Crush is from Riot, right? That song is super on flavor. It's from the album Riot, and it's crush, crush, crush. Do, 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 do. Niv with the tree fitty. Oh no! Oh, you know what? I punted here. Maybe you won't know Rise a Guess, but at least I need to know what percent is the reason to remember the name. 5% luck, 15% pain. I don't know. All my numbers are messed up. So what I should have done there, the reason why I made the mistake is I should have shocked in the Stomping Ground. So that way if they shocked my thing in response to my trigger, I would have been able to adapt it again in response and save it from the shock. Whoa, that's a frilled mistake. And I was not prepared for that one. 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 2% milk, 70% water. Alright, creatures are real scary. Follow the pigs. Follow the pigs. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Follow the pigs. Are you Canadian, Dad? You should have picked the counter. Now this is pod racing, exactly. We've not played Grixis Dragon with the new set yet. I think it's in the deck queue. That sounds like something that would be in the deck queue. The Spider's trigger gives it power equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard. Or the Harpooner's trigger. The enchantment gives it haste JMP by choosing haste off of Riot. I don't play decks through the traditional queues because I like to be able to make changes to them in between matches. Especially early in the format like this, someone will submit a deck that's not quite great, or like has some rough edges, or like we need to tweak the mana a little bit as we go, and playing it in the traditional match here gives us the ability to make changes in between. Interesting. Are they about to Thief of Sanity me? I'm glad I have this Harpooner. Let's get this going while I don't have the removal spell up. We're losing on the sweet meter. Our opponent's got us crushed. Yeah, I think so, Isabus. The ability to play counter spells and the sideboard of white aggro sounds appealing too. I didn't notice this. Do you guys see there's a little rainbow on the foot there? That's such a great detail, because like you're getting these from playing multicolored things, right? So the rainbow makes sense with the, that's cute. I like it. It's the little things that really put Magic art over the top. Is this game one of this matchup? Woof! As if this card wasn't good enough. That's really good. So long Hellkite? If I draw a 5th land next turn, I might just go growth chamber into get another one. The new Azorius art is great. The new Thopter tokens are good too, I agree. They ditched a Teferi, so they must have like another Teferi and like be missing a land. This card in Modern Humans? Nah, I don't think so. That doesn't sound very good. They could be digging for a sweeper too. I mean, like, are they playing a sweeper in their deck? I think they already had a Teferi and were looking for a land.
I'm known for my excellent timing. You need to take a time out.
All right, one land, please. Driving in my car, beep beep.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. How dead you are? I agree. Oh, Lord. Yeah, hero is really sweet. They have like a Mortify here. We're pretty dead. Their Absorb's gonna be nuts. Good Lord. Yeah, at least they can't cast Heroic. Reinforced beds. Class F full. What do you got? I'm gonna pass priority here. I guess if they have a removal spell, I'd rather they kill this than this. This does shuffle my deck, which loses my Phoenix. Oh, don't absorb me. Don't absorb me. Oh, I'm so glad we attacked first. Oh, I'm so glad we attacked first. Maybe I'm not supposed to play into that, just so, like, the Hellkite's lethal. Vomit.
Sorry I'm late.
Their deck is gas.
I'm not ready for this quite yet.
Alright, so I'm looking for a Colossus. Alright, it's a good rip. Kill a token. Oh, really? Deal. No, it wasn't the old one. We shuffled when we did this.
That's how it was meant.
They have another Teferi. Weird that they didn't jump block. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that. Opponent's doing a good job recognizing when they need to pivot here. That's unfortunate. Wait. Oh, that's the one they checked. I was like, why is that face up? Stop it. Wow, brutal. That was close. It's really good, MX. It's really pretty sweet. am I doing? I probably want this lava coil to kill their creatures. They probably have other creatures. Like, I'd be surprised if there weren't, like, Thief of Sanities hiding in their deck, right? Is Cindervines good enough? How much longer am I going to be streaming for? Probably another 2 hours or so. We got, like, another half hour with this deck, and then I've got one more that we're going to do. Give it to Mills so we can see their deck. Nullhide Ferox? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, Seraph's a possibility? Yep. So, Find Finality, we don't have black mana or mana base. We're playing it just for the Find half against control decks. Yeah, I agree. I think having access to combat tricks in, like, Colossus Collision and Thrash Threat, as well as Vivien Reid is, like, better than Ferox on average. This seems fine. Doesn't have any ramp in it, but it's fine. I really like that Growth Chamber Guardian is, like, something to do with your mana on 2 and 3 in these decks. Like, do you take a high impact card or do you take my turn 2 play? Like, I like taking my early play here. I think this makes a lot of sense. Alright, let's draw lands for, like, the next 3 turns. This card doesn't do anything. Riot is not an enter the battlefield effect. Riot is a replacement effect as it enters the battlefield. So, Takot Leonagard has no impact on Riot. You have no power here. Well, I mean, my hand hasn't gotten any better. I have a removal spell for your Monastery Mentor thing when you find it, but that's about it. Howdy, Nerd Girl. You think it's gonna be the strongest guild at Bruley's? I have no idea. I am definitely not the person you want to ask for limited advice. Nerd Girl might know. Nerd Girl plays a ton of limited. I think she was doing sealed most of yesterday. Read. These are my cards. They're still mediocre. Not my target. Great. God bless Volcanic Dragon. 40 card decks are the only thing that exists to me. We're like the inverse. I can't. When was the last time I played limited? Someone paid us $100 to play a limited league at one point. Vintage league. Smush. Look at that! Decatli did something, chat. It turned off our Ravager Wurm. It turned off our Ravager Wurm. They did it. Respect. Respect someone that takes their own way out. I feel like I want a little bit more ramp in this deck. I haven't been super excited about Thrash Threat. I think I want the... I think I want Incubation Druid. This card, I was pretty happy with this card yesterday. And I think it also adds more red fixing as well. So I'm gonna play that. We're only gonna play one more match with this deck before we roll on to Sultai Pod. But I think a couple of Incubation Druids are the way to go. Yeah, I was really happy with Incubation Druid yesterday. I'm liking the mixture of flying threats in this deck that we're playing today, but I definitely feel like I'm missing some of the ramp. Is Vivien just better than Domri? I think she ends up being better a lot of the time. I think Domri's fine for like diversifying your Planeswalkers against control decks, but I think favoring Vivien in the main is definitely better. We've not played a Simic Climb deck yet with Breeding Pool. The Stifle Clone Simic card. That card might be good in Merfolk, because Merfolk's like kind of in the market for a clone effect. This looks much better than that other card. Nice, Vicky, congrats. Green Black Elves is a lot of fun. We played Dovin yet. We played Dovin this morning, and he was okay. I don't think the shell we had him in was very good for him. We're going to be playing white aggro splashing blue for Dovin at some point, and I think that's potentially a very good shell for him. How am I liking your list so far? I really like the mix of flying threat skorks. We just added a couple Incubation Druids for the last match here. I really like having a little bit more ramp, and I could even see fitting in the 3rd and 4th copy of this card because it does adapt into a threat eventually. Now, you want something like Incubation Druid, because playing your cards out ahead of curve in a deck like this is really important. The amount of clips taken out of context will be limitless, definitely. Agree. Yeah, like a 3/5 is nothing to scoff at. Like, cards that scale as the game goes on is really important. So resolving Rhythm of the Wild here is probably lights out with how good our hand is, especially with Rekindling Phoenix. Is 2,800 a norm now? I don't know about a norm, but it's nice. These last, all jokes aside, these last 2 days have been my most viewed days on Twitch that I was not on the front page or didn't have a massive host. So it's been awesome to see how many people are excited to get out and see New Standard. I was expecting numbers to be up, but they're kind of up to an insane degree, and it's awesome to see Magic being this big. These are like Hearthstone numbers. These are like, they're not quite Hearthstone numbers. Hearthstone numbers are like 5 digits, but like, it's like real-ish video game. Magic's had like close to 20 and 30k people the last couple days. It's awesome. Killer's at 5k right now. Yeah, and like Fizz and folks like that often hit 10k. We're getting there. We're getting there. Magic's still new to this whole having a good digital client thing. Can we talk about my flying threats for a minute? My flying threats are wonderful. That's true. Gibbler is also handsome. I'm like, I've looked 40 for the last decade, so like, it's hard to compete with Gibbler. Eldest Reborn. Thanks for upgrading my Phoenix. I guess they could have a way to kill this. Play Allegiance is the 3-pack code. Kibler is immortal or something. Yep. I think I'm just gonna cut the Harpooners. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the Collision Colossuses. Seems fine. How many creatures is this? 28 creatures? This is fine. Yes, Wilderness Reclamation triggers do stack. There are multiple triggers go on the stack when you have multiple of them, and then you resolve them one at a time and can float mana in between. The 4/3 Phoenix has been very good. The flying threats in general have just been excellent. Just like being able to go over board stalls is very, very good. The Elf Crab wasn't a card that I didn't pick the Elf Crab out of the spoiler as a card being that was going to be fantastic, but it's been really impressive even without Rhythm. Like when you have Rhythm, it's completely insane, and even when you don't, it's been playable. Alright, this hand needs some lands, but if we hit like land 3 on time, we should be good to go. Riot does stack. Every instance of Riot stacks. That's awesome, Rix. Yeah, and the other thing to remember is that like while Arena's like in open beta advancing towards a release, Arena, we haven't had any major events on Arena yet, right? Like, once this whole Magic Premier League thing kicks off, we have, like, high-profile tournaments for, like, real prizes being played on the Arena client. I'm really excited to see what kind of numbers those events can get. Like, I think there's a very real possibility that, you know, we see 50 or 60,000 people watching an Arena tournament, because like Pro Tours get close-ish numbers to those, but like watching Paper Magic is awful compared to watching Arena. I think Sarkhan's Unsealing's a little bit clunky. It's just an individually weak card. Hey, SK with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me employed here. The numbers are up recently. What are my thoughts on playing subs? I think at this point I probably have enough subs that it would just take one, it would take a long time to coordinate, which would result in downtime on my stream, and downtime loses viewers because it's boring. And two, it would leave people feeling upset because there's no way I could feasibly play with everyone that would want to play. When we get best of 3 direct challenge mode, I plan to run some sub-only tournaments. I think that'll be sweet. Can give away some points for the queue, can give away some merchandise, can get some stuff from the sponsors probably. I think that sounds like a good time though. I have no idea why they took one Spellbreaker and one Rhythm of the Wild. Seems really weird. But I don't plan to try and run best of 1 or like makeshift best of 3 sub tournaments, so we're gonna have to wait a second. I'm gonna concede here. We're pretty dead. Maybe if we hit Domri mana that turn, but let's take the next game on the play. Yeah, Magic Arena has brought a ton of new people into Magic. And it's even like Wizards commented, they posted a report that this past season for Guilds was the most attended paper event at the LGS level too. So Magic Arena is bringing people into local game stores too, which is awesome. Tournament idea sounds awesome. Elusive, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Would you run one less land for more Incubation Druid? Maybe. I don't know. How many lands are we at? I think 24 is the floor. I want at least 24 lands. I don't remember how many we stopped at. Yeah, I think that's true too. Arena has taken a bunch of people who like played Magic but like stopped playing, you know, a decade ago or more, and like brought them back in because they're like, oh, I loved playing Magic way back when, but it's inconvenient or expensive, and Arena is both convenient and not expensive compared to paper Magic. That's true too. Picking more people up because Standard no longer sucks probably helps as well. But I bet there's a lot of people who stopped a long time ago because it was expensive and inconvenient that have come back because Arena's really easy to play fast games. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in chat. Yeah. Alright, well, we got a Dargon next turn. What sucked about the previous seasons of Standard? So, the previous Standard seasons had a really bad balance of answers and threats. The games, there were just tons and tons of threats that didn't have good answers for them, which made the games very aggressive and pretty uninteresting, by and large. And obviously interesting is subjective, but most people consider them uninteresting. Hazoret, yep. Smuggler's Chapter. Well, getting Rhythm of the Wild into play is a big deal because it means all of their counter spells are dead now. So the fact that they have a bunch of cards in hand is something that we could potentially play through. Isn't Standard usually bad? No, that's not true, Rattleballs. Magic players will always complain, but Magic Standard format, even people who generally love Standard, stopped playing Magic Standard format for like the last 2 years. The numbers were very, very bad. There's a reason why SCG stopped doing Standard opens. The format was so unappealing for most people. Doke. This is a little bit scary because they're at going up to 6 lands this turn and there are a lot of big plays in my deck. Since BFZ. Yeah, that's when it kind of started going downhill. Which big monster did you find? That's not a big monster. Okay. Remember that time when there were a small number of lethal cards in our deck? This archetype is really good. Can we just take a moment and appreciate this archetype? Because it is great. Give him the worm, baby. Give him the worm. This card's been impressive. I guess Carnage Tyrant would have also been lethal there, but the worm's been really good. And this is something that I really love about the Riot mechanic and some of these modal cards is like the fact that this archetype gets to play cards like these that are interactive but also proactive when you don't want to be interactive allows a lot of flexibility that green-red midrange, traditionally speaking, doesn't have access to. All right. Wrap up on this. I feel like I want at least one more Incubation Druid. I definitely like this deck's a lot better when we have ramp spells. I might cut a Harpooner. I might cut a Spellbreaker to the board. I was really happy with the Flying Creature package. This Flying Creature package felt very, very reasonable. Also, if you want to take your wallet out and smack your opponent across the face with it, we got a lot of Mythic wildcards here, you know? Let your opponent know that you have money and you know how to use it. It's not bad, JP.